Yes, people, what's happening? And welcome back to the Frankie Allen Podcast. You are here with your host, Will Cranny, alongside the UK's most feared comedian, Frankie Allen. Frank, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Great to be back. It's got to be, 2 years? 2.5 years since the last time we've done a podcast. A lot of stuff's gone on since then. I'm going to talk about it today. A lot of interesting stuff. We're back anyway. Our first podcast, I think it's for 2 years, is
First
it?
podcast back since October 2021.
My God.
So I was in ChatGPT this morning working out how long that was.
Yeah.
2 years and 7 months. And before we kick the podcast off, there's only one reason why the podcast is back. Now, obviously, a lot of people, have been loving the vlogs that have been going out every Tuesday at 7 o'clock on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we had lots of comments in person, online, on social media, all over the place to bring the podcast back. The key issue is, these podcasts, they're expensive to put together. It takes a lot of time and effort. So our podcast is proudly brought to you today by Skalptec. Frank, tell us a little bit about Skalptec.
Skalptec is an organisation run by Terry Jones, who's an award-winning practitioner, 3 times UK champion or whatever is,
I've got it here. He's actually the Scalp Technician of the Year winner on multiple occasions.
Now, if anybody knows me, you may know or you may not know, I was losing my hair from a very young age, very embarrassing, got to my 30s, got a bit later on and tried different ways to kind of get my hair back, this regain minoxidil, and nothing ever worked really. But I've had this scalp pigmentation, as you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. Unbelievable.
Just to let people know, scalp pigmentation.
Yeah.
They might be like, what the fuck is that? It's basically a tattoo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tattoo. It's when people say tattoo, you think of your arms or your chest or your leg, an old-fashioned tattooist. This is scalp pigmentation with a very fine needle. And it's just amazing. It's done. Mine is actually done in what you call 3D now, 3 dimension. So when people meet me, it just looks as though, it really looks as though you can grow a full head of hair and you've chosen to shave it and keep it short. So it's been absolutely mind-blowing and life-changing for me because the back of my head was gone. I was receding. It really got me down every day.
Now, the weird thing, people might say, why the hell would you not just get a hair transplant?
Yeah.
But for some people, you can't get a hair transplant, can you?
Some
Is that
people
right?
can't get a hair transplant. I tried to get a hair transplant many years ago. The donor hair at the back of your head has to be quite strong, really, for it to take. Mine wasn't strong enough to transplant. Now, when I was younger, I always had my hair in those days, not a skinhead, but a mod kind of thing in my day. Used to shave your hair off, and I suit it. And 99% of people do suit it. If you've got a shaven look, what they call a buzz cut, it's a young look, it's sexy, it's kind of like, if you go over to the States and Canada and even here now, anyone in the army and the military have very, very short hair, very close, cropped down to the bone. So it's a very clean, young, kind of a sexy look. So I'm kind of over the moon with it.
Decent. So just to fill you in on Skalptec, as I said, Terry Jones, he's a great mate of ours. He's a great lad. And they are proudly sponsoring this podcast. So Terry's been Scalp Technician of the Year winner on multiple occasions. They are based in Bearscough, Ormskirk, which is 50 minutes outside the Liverpool city centre, just an hour outside of Manchester. So it's dead close for anywhere in the northwest. To book in, there will be a link below. Terry will offer a free consultation via phone call, or you can go in and see him free of charge, have a quick chat with him. You can get in touch with them via email at info@skalptec.com or by calling 0845 625 0025. And if you let him know you came from the Frankie Allen Podcast, Terry will certainly look after you. You can pay a deposit, then it's a flat price, which you can pay over 4 installments. So that's all the info. But basically, the thing that we need to get across is Terry's just one of the lads.
He's a good lad.
He's sound, isn't he?
It's not like when you're going into kind of some of these places for an appointment and you feel overawed and embarrassed or whatever. You do a one-to-one with Terry. He's one of the lads, even though he's the ultimate professional. And I'd say to anyone, it's not expensive. If you're fucked up over your hair, you're feeling underconfident, you're feeling embarrassed, just get it done. It's absolutely life-changing, fantastic. The best thing that's happened to me. I feel so much younger, so much more confident. I'm on the stage now. I'm picking on people. Look at this baldy twat over here. Nobody's ever shouted out at me, you've had something done, because it's totally undetectable. It's the answer to your prayers if you're losing your hair. Get it done. Skalptec.
I think the key to that is people do know you've had it done because it looks so legit and it looks decent. They're not going to have a go back at you either. It's not like, oh, you've got a tattoo on your head. You'd be like, I'm what?
Well, I've mentioned it before on podcasts and vlogs. I've had my hair done. People do know I've had it done. Great, but people aren't really interested these days. It's not like it was 20 or 30 years ago when it'd be on the bus, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, wink. She's had a facelift or he's had his teeth done or whatever. It's the vogue now. Everyone you speak to goes, oh yeah, I've been to Turkey, I've had my teeth done. What, have you had a face? Oh yeah, I've had this lifted and all that. It's kind of fashionable now. So it's not a thing which can be swept under the carpet like it used to be. Nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you can be quite proud. Nobody's interested in what work you've had done. They're not going to pass comments. They're not going to demean you or judge you. All they want to do is see if the end product looks fantastic. I mean, from a man's point of view, if I saw a gorgeous bird in a club, you'd go, fucking hell, she's gorgeous here. But if someone said to you, Frankie, you know, she's got no hair, but she wears a wig, you'd go, you wouldn't really care, would you? You're only interested in what the appearance of it is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The end result.
The end result. And it's not a sad thing. It's just the way the world is at the moment. You are judged an awful lot on your appearance these days. And everybody's in the gym. People are trying to look younger, trying to look fitter, making the best of what they are and what they can be, you know, realising the full potential. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And your hair, especially for a man, is so very, very important. So I'd say to anyone who's out there, if you're in the doldrums about your hair, I don't want to go to Turkey, come back with a head full of blood and all this business, waiting 18 months for a bit of hair to grow, taking tablets. Some of them have to take tablets, don't they? Anti-testosterone tablets, so it stays in, and then you lose your sex drive, libido. No, fuck that. Just go and get your hair scalp pigmentation. It'll be done in 3 sessions, 2 or 3 sessions. Fantastic. Get it done.
Belter. So go and contact Terry at Skalptec. As I said, like, you know, have a go. Think about it. Like, get in touch with him. If you don't fancy it, if it's not for you, whatever. But look, it's worth having a chat with him, innit?
If you get it done, birds will be all over you, to be on your case. Everywhere you go, birds will be nudging their mates saying, fucking hell, look at him. If you don't get it done, when you go home tonight and you fall asleep, a fucking big spider will crawl across your face.
Nice one. Okay, so into the podcast. The last podcast, as we said, was recorded on the 20th of October 2021, which is over 2.5 years ago. We recorded 25 episodes, had over 25,000 downloads, over 70,000 views across these episodes on YouTube. But basically, we just stopped doing them. And we stopped doing them for multiple reasons. But the main one is after, like, you know, everything that had gone on and the world was back to operating again at full steam, we just needed to get on with live events. And that was our focus, wasn't it? Just get back on the road. You love being back on stage.
I love being on stage. I live for the stage. And it's absolutely fantastic. And when we weren't working, when everybody in the UK, we had that hiatus or whatever it was, 18 months or was it 2 years, when nobody could do anything. So it's very, very difficult. We did do some shows, some outside shows, but getting back, we're flying at the moment. Everywhere we're going all over England, all over Scotland, Wales, going abroad, Ireland. Absolutely fantastic. Playing to sold out audiences, and it's going very, very well. It's going great.
Sweet. So we just want to catch up with you all, basically tell you what the fucking hell has been going on over the last 2.5 years, because a lot of people, they saw us re-upload on YouTube 3 months ago, the vlogs, following us on the journey. But I feel like these podcasts are a bit more of a chance. People have messaged me saying, I listen to that when I'm on shift in work. I listen to that when I'm driving in the car.
Yeah.
And, it's nice, easy listening.
I've had a lot of comments like that. You think people kind of watch you. Yeah. Obviously, the majority of people do watch you.
Yeah.
But I've had people that have met in clubs when we've been, and they've said, Frankie, I was on an oil rig and I was on a shift one night. I always listen to your podcasts.
Yeah.
You go, fucking hell, And you're trying to picture them working in the middle of the North Sea and listening to me and you talking. It's surreal and strange.
There's a famous snooker player. He's one of the top snooker players called Mark Williams.
Okay.
And he said he puts the podcast on and practices. So it's mad, you think about it, like we've got to give the people what they want.
And the father and son thing is working well for us. It's very popular. It's a good blend. And even on the stage, we're doing fantastically well with our support comedian. We're using Jack Ryan now. Very good, great. Will's emceeing the shows. We're going all over the UK. And this is just an extension of, our stage act, really. Just getting people, we kind of, what's the word? How would you say it? We've kind of like, I don't even know how to say it, We're well known now. We're kind of famous with the show. The show is going fantastic, going great. We've kind of like made a connection with the general public. But people want more. If they like it, I've had people saying, what do you do? Don't you do the podcast anymore? Because we watch it all the time if you did.
Yeah.
So this is a great, anyone that's seen us on any of the shows all over the UK, obviously put Frankie Allen in, this will come up. And they'll be able to watch the podcast. And it's a little bit of a kind of like, if they're a fan, it's a little bit, couple of hours of things that they can watch again.
Yeah, definitely. Just want to catch up with you all. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we've got so much going on in our lives. And to be honest with you, I'm made up to be here today because my life is so stressful. That
Why is your life so stressful,
It's just the amount of work that I've got going on at the moment. Obviously working with my dad, but I deal with lots of other things. So for me to take a couple of hours out and record the podcast with you and have a good laugh, just light relief. So hopefully,
it's very chill and it's great for me as well, because I'm kind of like under pressure in a lot of different ways, than you are possibly. I get bored, fed up. I love and I'll live for working on the clubs, doing the shows. So during the week, sometimes I can get a little bit kind of like, not fed up, but I'm looking for things to do. So to be back doing the podcast is absolutely amazing. It'll take all the afternoon up, waiting for it to come out, watching for it. And then when it comes out, watching. Shouldn't have said that, should have said that. So it's great.
Fill us in, what's your day been like so far? What have you been up to?
Well, today, I kind of woke up very early, went for my breakfast. A lot of people are different. I know about sugar levels and things, and I don't know. I have to eat in the morning. If I don't eat first thing in the morning, I feel ill all day. Some people can't eat at all first thing in the morning. Yeah. They have to wait until like lunchtime before they can have anything to eat. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different metabolism. But I mean, I've done it years and years ago when I was working on a 9 to 5, standing at the fucking bus stop at 7 in the morning, in the team in rain, waiting to go and work for somebody. And if I'd had nothing to eat before I went out all day, I'd feel very ill. Might be sugar levels. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Where'd you go for your brekkie?
Go to Tesco's in Old Swan in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Have my breakfast there. Always have the same thing. Scrambled egg on toast, 2 pieces of bacon and a coffee, as per your instructions.
One slice of toast.
One slice of toast.
Oh, you're not neglecting that.
No,
well, you've lost some weight, haven't you, doing that?
I've lost 2 stone. Yeah. I've lost 27, just on the verge, 27, 28 pound. And I don't know how many fucking kilograms that is in your language, but I always talk about stones and pounds. 2 stone. Now, I could never, ever lose it. I've tried for years. And I've always had this fucking big appetite. I needed to eat at night. Yeah. And I was starving myself.
Just stop there. Like, I remember my mum always saying this and you saying this when you're younger. Am I right in saying that you couldn't keep stuff in the fridge because you'd go and scran it?
Well, I'm not sure whether I had some kind of like psychological thing or whatever it was. I mean, I may as well tell people the fucking truth now that we're on the podcast. If you go to my house, anybody that's watching this that knows where I live, and some people do, there's people in my street who know me now. If you come to my house and you knocked on a door, you walked into my kitchen, if you opened the food cupboards and you opened the fridge, you'd see fuck all.
Yeah.
You would see literally fuck all. All you would see is a bottle of milk.
Okay.
Skimmed milk. Now, if anybody who was starving in the street and wanted to break into my house looking for food, they'd be found dead the next morning of starvation, because there is literally, this isn't a joke, there is nothing in my I'm like old motherfucking Hubbard. There is nothing in my fucking cupboard. Fuck all. And the reason is, a few years ago, 15 years ago, 20, I was carrying a lot of weight. I was nearly 15 stone, but I couldn't stop eating. And what I used to do, you won't believe this, I must have had some kind of a fucking eating disorder. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I'd go downstairs. I'd get, not a bowl, I'd get a pan, get the pan, get all the fucking cornflakes, stick them in.
In a pan?
Yeah. A whole pint of milk, and I'd just sit there eating it all till I felt sick and go back to bed.
Were you like sleepwalking at that point?
I don't know what the fuck it was, but I'd wake up the next day and I'd go downstairs, the fridge door would be open and there'd be chocolates everywhere and all that. I used to eat in my sleep.
Go on.
Yeah.
So were you kind of like half groggy, like half asleep while you were eating it?
I don't know what it was. There must be a word for it. Anyone who's out there who's a doctor might be able to diagnose it, whatever the fuck it was. But I just think I was a greedy twat. I used to get a little tiny bit hungry before I went to bed. I'd get up in the middle of the night. And then, even after a debt in the middle of the night, I'd be out getting a full English breakfast. Then I'd be back home and I'd be eating again and again and again all day. So my weight, I think it got to like 15 and a half in the end, nearly 16 stone. And my fucking face was out there.
Yeah.
You've never seen anything like it in your
How
fucking
old were you there?
When?
Like how long ago was this?
I was about 30, and all you could see was these little fucking piggy eyes.
Yeah.
So then I lost weight. When I went on Opportunity Knocks, I knew I had to lose weight.
Yeah, you look well on that.
I looked well on
if anyone hasn't seen that, my dad's Opportunity Knocks video of when you went on the show is on YouTube. Some random fellas uploaded it. Fair play to him. Okay. Well done, mate.
Well, when I went on the New Comedians show and things, I knew I had to lose weight because it was a fucking disgrace. And I lost it all. I lost about a stone and nearly killed myself. But then as soon as it finished on the TV, I put it all back on, and I wasn't able to lose any weight. And thank God you're going to the gym all the time. You know all about the calories and things. You put me on these meal preps, 2 a day, and I've been losing weight. I mean, since I haven't done it kind of like, fast really. It's been since Christmas. So it's 5 months. But to lose 2 stone is absolutely fantastic.
And you don't train or nothing, do you?
Don't train. I don't do anything at all. I'm very lazy. I do fuck all. I lie in front of the telly all day as though I'm paralysed from the fucking shoulders down. I go to bed all the time. I'm lying in the fucking bed, just flicking. Sometimes I'm too lazy to reach for the remote control. So I'll just watch whatever's on the telly, even if it's fucking rubbish, because I couldn't be arsed. I'm too lazy to turn the fucking telly over.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm a lazy bastard. So the only way, I don't get any exercise at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the shop where I live now. I live in Kensington, back in Kensington in Liverpool. The shop is about 10 yards away from my fucking house. If you walk. But what I do is get in the car. It's a one-way street. Get in the car and I drive about a quarter of a mile in the car to get outside the shop. It'd take me a few yards to walk because I couldn't be fucking arsed walking. I couldn't go through that pain of walking to the fucking shop. No, I am lazy and I'm proud of it.
So have you lost the 2 stone?
I've lost the 2 stone. I mean, I read once that you can lose weight, by calories and carbohydrates, all this business and whatever. But exercise, it might tone you up. You might lose a few calories, but you're never going to lose the same amount of weight that you lose if you stop eating. Now, all this fucking crap I've been hearing for years, people on a TV and people on saying, oh yeah, you've got to eat to lose weight. Have you fuck? You know, if you go to Ethiopia, do you think the people in Ethiopia are on like special fucking diets where they're eating 5 fucking little meals a day? Do you think they're on a treadmill? No, they're fucking dead skinny because they vet fuck all for months. And that's what I do. I eat fuck all. That's how you lose weight.
Nah, I disagree because to be honest with you, the difference is you eat 3 meals a day now, don't you?
Yeah, but they're only tiny meals.
Yeah, you say that, but they're not tiny meals. The problem that you had was your protein intake was so low.
Okay.
That you weren't feeling satiated. So you were having like just carbs, no protein, and then your blood sugar levels were spiking, and then you were feeling starving, and then you'd admit you were going out to the garage in the middle of the night and
whatever it is, it's worked anyway.
There you go.
It's worked, and I think it's obviously because of the meals, these meal preps that you got me specially made, got something taken out of them. There's
very, very little fat in them.
Oh, is that what it is?
They're all high protein. So the protein makes you satiated. When you eat it, it fills you up.
I actually feel completely different now. You know, I'm more confident, obviously got my hair done, got a bit of work on my face, you know. I tell you, Skalptec, you know, Nikki, his missus, she's done this because she does all the aesthetics, you know, fantastic. Botox, a little bit of a lift. I'm not young anymore, but I look great. And the weight enhances all that. If you can lose weight, no good going round if you've got a face like George Clooney, but you're 30 stone, is it?
No.
All you've got to do, there's a lot of things that you can do as you're getting older that you can work on that make you look good. I mean, even before fucking Christmas, I had a belly on me like a fucking poison pup. Now, on Saturday, it was quite warm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I went out to my car just in a pair of shorts. Now, this is a true story. So I was just like getting something out of the boot, and there was a girl with 2 young kids like walking down the street. And this woman, and she shouted, she was in her 30s, she shouted over to me, "Peter." I went, "What?" She went, "Peter, will you sing Mysterious Girl
oh, come off
for my kids?" I went, "What, love?" She come over, she said, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry," she said. "When I saw your tummy, I thought you were Peter Andre." I said, "I'm not Peter Andre." The little kid said, "Peter, why did you split up with Jordan?" I said, "Fucking hell." I thought, fuck this. I'm not going out again today. If anyone else, you know, identifies you, recognise me and thinks that I'm fucking Peter Andre.
Brilliant, fair play. So let's talk about shows.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we've got coming up, what we've been up to, what's been happening. Obviously, there's been loads that have happened since the last podcast and the last vlog. So, look, as I said, people have been crying out for the podcast to come back. 2021 was the last time that we filmed. Now, first of all, I just wanted to discuss some upcoming shows that we've got coming up. Just so that you've got a bit of an idea of what's going on, because realistically, do you know where you're working week to week?
I never know where I'm working. I mean, all I am
this
now...
is like a catch-up for us.
It's a strange thing. I worked on the clubs for many, many years. All I had was my diary. People would ring me up and they'd say, "Frankie, you free on such a date?" and put it in my diary. Now, for whatever reason, I don't really know. Since Will's been managing me, he does all that. You know, he books and he's brilliant. He does a fantastic job. And it's all contracted and things and, you know, booked in advance so we get paid before we do the gig. I always picked up cash on the night. That's what I've been used to. So I just leave it all in Will's hands, really. I don't really know. Sometimes I'm surprised. I get a shock where Will says to me the day before, "Oh, don't forget tomorrow night." And I go, "Why? What's going on?" "Oh, we're in Newcastle or we're in London." I don't really know.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me anymore because most of the time I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. Or he might say, "Look, go back and get hypnotised because we're flying to Tenerife, so you'll have to fly in a couple of weeks." So I used to like being in control of my own work, my own bookings, but Will does such a great job. I'll just leave it to you.
Yeah, so now you feel quite good with it. I mean, we're a good team, aren't we? That's the key.
Yeah, we're a good team.
We've just announced a show for Father's Day.
Oh, brilliant.
We do a Father's Day show every single year.
Yeah.
you know, we've done over the years, we've done Grand Central Hall, we did with John May. Big Scouse Father's Day show was a good laugh. We've done Hangar 34 before. We've done Grand Central Hall as just Frankie Allen.
Yeah.
We've done loads of big ones. But over the last, 18 months, you've kind of made somewhere in Liverpool your home, haven't you?
Well, yeah, anybody on Merseyside, we thought, who wants to come and see us, people are always asking, when are you coming to Liverpool? You never come to Liverpool. So we do the beer cellar. It's a kind of a residency. You know, we do it once a month.
Once every other month for the time
being. Is it every other month?
Yeah.
I don't. But the strange thing is, I'd say 50% at least of the people that come there are from all over the UK.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing. When we look at the list, the postcodes, I always ask you, don't I, for the postcodes, let's see where people are coming from. And the last time we did it, I went, fucking hell, a fella's coming from fucking Penzance in Cornwall, Kent, London, Great Yarmouth, Burnley, Blackburn, Anglesey, fella coming from Newcastle, Sunderland, fellas, and girls too, flying over from Ireland. So absolutely everywhere. And we initially done it just really to cater for people on Merseyside in Liverpool who wanted to see us.
My dad will tell you this, like the amount of people, everyone I bump into, they go, when's your half fella working in Liverpool again, lads? And we used to go, oh, well, we're in Essex and we're in Glasgow and we're in Newcastle and we're doing Liverpool in 3 months' time, so come to that show because it'd be a bigger show.
Yeah.
But because we used to get calls and texts and everyone just getting on us all the time, we thought, right, okay, let's just do a residency in Liverpool. We do 6 to 10 shows a year and we'll just put shows on all the time.
Yeah.
But as you said, the majority of the people there, it's not even Scousers anyway.
Well, I don't know what it is with the Scousers. People always used to say to me, when are you working in Liverpool again, Frankie? We'll come and see you, lad. And all that. But when we advertise a show, most of the people are from outside of Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fucking hell it is. And conversely, if that's the right fucker, we've been as far as places like Newcastle.
We were in Featherstone and we did a meet and greet at the end of the show.
And there were Scousers there.
There was all like Ketwigs standing on the stage.
People that have come up from Liverpool.
Like, what's happening here?
We've been in Birmingham and fellas have come to me and gone, and I'm speaking to a Scouser and on the meet and greet, coming up for pictures at the end. And what, do you live round here now, mate? No, we've just come down for the night. And I thought, why wouldn't we go to fucking beer cellar? Maybe they're missing the ad and they only see the ad for but it's a strange thing.
Yeah.
You do get now a lot of kind of like, what's the word? People travel all over the UK and it doesn't seem to bother people like it used to. People used to be like in their own town. They'd wait for someone to come to their own city. I think we're getting a lot of people from outside of Liverpool now coming to Liverpool because Liverpool's becoming one of these places where you can go for a weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people, not just because of the Beatles Museum, Liverpool Football Club, Everton, all this business, people are travelling. It's a big tourist destination now.
Yeah.
So as you know, we've had a lot of people who come along and they go, yeah, Frankie Allen's on in Liverpool. He's on there on the Saturday night of the beer cellar. Let's go Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
And they're getting the train up or they're driving down and they're staying for the weekend.
Over.
Yeah, so that's great.
So yeah, beer cellar, tickets will be on sale now. Father's Day, it's at on the 16th of June at 3 o'clock. Now, we usually do a Father's Day show at 3 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
It's a nice afternoon vibe and people can take their granddads out. But just to give you an extra incentive for why we'd want to do a daytime show, I know it's not a big deal in Liverpool.
Yeah.
All the Scousers on here will be saying, we're not watching the England game, but England are playing in the night. So if people want to come along, come to the Father's Day show. England are playing in the Euros in the evening. So you can come and watch the show, stay for the match, have a day on the booze on the Saturday.
Well, you're dead right. And the thing is, all the Father's Day things that we've done in the past, we've done the Royal Naval Club.
Yeah.
We've done a show there.
19?
19, I think, yeah.
18.
We've actually done a club just round a corner from here, basically, at the Grand Central.
Twice, yeah.
We've done 2 shows there on Father's Day. And Father's Day, anyone who's watching it who's not in Liverpool, Liverpool's a strange place in a lot of ways. It's in the UK. It is and it isn't in the UK. It's like a principality. It's like fucking Monaco is with France. Because a lot of the people don't really consider themselves as being English. It's a strange thing. I remember being in a pub one afternoon, and I wasn't working this afternoon. It's a few years ago, and England were playing. I think it was Argentina. Uruguay.
Oh, no, it was me.
Was it you?
No, don't you remember?
What happened, Will?
Well, I've got a mate, Joe. He's from Macclesfield, right?
Oh,
he's very
that's
middle class, Joe, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a good lad. He's a really good lad, but he's kind of like he's not a Skal as we'd call them.
Yeah.
So anyway, Joe's my best mate, and he's lived in Liverpool for what, 15 years now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So Joe didn't really get onto the fact that like Scousers were on that vibe where they didn't like England.
Yeah.
So we were watching England against Uruguay in the Camp and Furnace in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Huge, like everyone's there, all atmosphere, but most of the people there are all studies. Now, then I think it went to extra time or it was like very close, and then Suarez scored. And this Scouser in front went, "Get in!" Like that. Like that. And James, that's what we call him.
Yeah.
He turned around and went, he tapped the fella on the back. He went, "Excuse me, laddie, excuse me." He said, "You do know that means England go out, don't you?" Suarez has just scored. And the fella went, "Yeah, I know, of course I know, lads." And he went, "But you're English." And he went, "I'm not fucking English, lad. I'm a Scouser." So he went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Don't you support England?" He went, "Lad, I'm a Scouser. I'm supporting Suarez, lad."
Yeah, supporting Suarez because he played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And a lot of Liverpool fans and a lot of Scousers, they're so invested in this Liverpool Scouse thing. It's kind of like a religion in a way, you know, we're Scousers, that as soon as they see a player that plays for Liverpool or even played like 10 years ago, if they score, even if it was in the World Cup final and they beat England, they'd be cheering for that foreign fucking player. It's a strange, weird thing.
So talk to us about, you saying Scousers are very, very different to everyone else.
Well, Scousers are different than everyone else on Father's Day and Mother's Day.
A huge deal in Liverpool.
Father's Day, I've been out of town, you know, worked, funnily enough, I've done one show in Macclesfield on Father's Day, and it was just a very relaxed day. You might get a couple of people coming out with the dads and things, but to all intents and purposes, a normal day. In Liverpool, you know, it's Father's Day. You have to be with your dad. Even if he's been fucking buried 10 years before, you go to the cemetery, you know, people are literally dragging them out, dragging the dads out. It's just become, the Liverpool people are very passionate about family. The family thing, and Mother's Day and Father's Day have become a thing where they really want to reinforce that bond that they've got with the family. And it's a lot stronger than it is in other places in the UK. I think it comes from the Irish. And, you know, I don't really know where it's come from, but certainly Mother's Day and Father's Day is huge. You know, everywhere you go, you've got kind of like shows on, comedians on, groups on, people are out all day, people are out from 9 in the morning till midnight, Father's Day, taking the dads. Even if they take the dads home in the afternoon, if they're getting on a bit, if they're a bit frail, they're still out. Father's Day, you know. Yeah,
so it's always a nice idea to put a Father's Day show on every year. And obviously me and you are father and son. People love that. It's a great day out to be boss.
You couldn't pick a better place to do it.
Yeah.
Again, another strange thing. It's not a strange thing when you even understand it. The only thing that could come close to Father's Day in Liverpool is St. Patrick's Day. Paddy's Day. Everyone's out.
Yeah.
Everyone's out all day, rotten drunk. And that's a thing I think that comes from being a lot of 90% of the people having Irish in them, you know, Irish descent. Now, I used to do a lot of shows in Manchester in the 90s. And it's still going on now for St. George's Day. People that go out on St. George's Day in Manchester, all the lads would go for a meal in the morning. Then they'd have a show in the afternoon in a hotel or a club. They'd have a comic on, they'd have a band on, and they'd be out all day celebrating St. George, who's the patron saint of England. If you said to someone in Liverpool, come out for St. George's Day, they'd go, fuck off.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
Yeah.
And you'd say, it's St. George's Day. And they'd actually say, who is he?
Yeah, they wouldn't get on it, yeah.
It's like as though you're in a different country completely, with different traditions, different outlook on life, different way of life, different kind of like take on everything.
What would you say are the key differences between Scousers and other people in the country?
There's so many. I mean, I'll name a few if you want. A lot of Scousers, I'm not kind of like calling them lazy. They've got this name, you know, in the rest of the UK. People say, oh, Scousers won't work. Scousers are lazy. This is a thing that came from the 80s, you know, from the Thatcher governments and things, who they hated, who were running down the city, a lot of politics involved. But basically, I wouldn't categorise them as lazy. All they are, they're quite, what's the word? They won't have anyone, they won't let anyone, or they don't like the idea of anyone trying to con them or pull the wool over their eyes.
Yeah.
So if you said to a Scouser, are you working? And they went, no. Do you want a job? You said, yeah. Yeah, I'll work. Where is it? But if it wasn't a great deal of money, I've done it with people. I've said to lads have moaned at me and they've gone, Frankie, it's all right for you earning hundreds of pounds a night. And I said to a friend of mine, look, you're always fucking moaning that you've got no money. Now, I can get you a job. And I offered a job to a friend of mine years ago. Yeah. I said, all you've got to do, come up to Manchester. I'll be with you on the show, MC the show, you know, just announce me on stage. And those strippers then announce, just say, put your hands together, lads. Welcome on stage, Vicky. One of the, I said, and all that. And when she comes off and all that. And then he went, where is it? And I went, it's in Oldham. And I was straight away. I said, Oldham. He went, fuck that.
Why?
Fuck that. Because it's outside of his comfort zone. It's going out of town.
Yeah.
You see, it's as though they've built a wall around Liverpool. It's as though it's a total exclusion zone.
Yeah.
They don't really like travelling. And they go, and I said to him, look, I can get you 200 fucking quid for an afternoon's work, emceeing a show. I'll be there. I'm on stage. A couple of strippers on. And they go, and he actually said to me, fuck that. And I said, why wouldn't you go? He went, you know, I wouldn't mind if it was round here, but those wolves, those wolves. I said, they're all right, sound, it won't be any trouble. Oh, don't know, mate. Don't trust those wolves. And he wouldn't go.
Yeah. I mean, we've been trying to educate the rest of the UK that watches the vlogs, obviously, because the vlogs that we put out on YouTube, they're very national. Your audience is very national in it.
Yeah, it's very national.
So when I say national, it's like they're very dispersed all over the UK. Yeah. We've been trying to educate people on what a wool is. And it's so difficult for us to try and explain the Scouse psychology of how they see outsiders or how we see outsiders. Obviously, we're like a little bit different because we see so many people every week.
Very, very different. And I've had the kind of like, in my life, I've had the what's the word? I've kind of had the privilege, really, of doing a hell of a lot of work in the UK. Mm-hmm. And doing a lot of work in Liverpool as well. So I can see the stark contrast between Liverpool and the rest of the UK. And one thing I've noticed about people in Liverpool as well, no disrespect to them, very clever people came from Liverpool, you know, all the big singers, a lot of stars, the Beatles and all. Liverpool people have got a very limited vocabulary, which...
Wait there, be careful what you're saying here.
Well, let me just explain. This is quite funny.
Go on.
I'm not saying they're all fucking dyslexic or whatever. Obviously, they're as clever or they're not cleverer. They're more cunning and cute than people in other parts of the country. They're a step ahead in a lot of ways.
Sharp.
Yeah, I'm not having a go at them. I'm a Scouser.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they see, look, here's a good example. 1992, I'm working in Manchester. Mm-hmm. So my car broke down on the motorway, just off the motorway. Anyway, I rang up and the AA came out. Mm-hmm. The fella came out in a uniform. He knocked on my window and he went, hello, sir, has your vehicle broken down? And I said, yes. Can I see your membership card? And he looked at the card. That's right. That's in order, sir. Let me have a look. Can you lift your bonnet? Lifted the bonnet. So then he come back and he's filling in a report. He said, what it is, sir, he said, your starter motor is jammed. Now, you'll have to get it seen to. You'll have to get... Well, what I've done, I've given it a jolt, and it is working now. And I started the engine, it was working. And he said, will you sign this for me, please, sir? And sign this. Very, very official. Great. So I got back to Liverpool that night. And don't forget, if you would have seen this fella, he looked like an American fucking soldier, like a hat on and fucking shirt and tie and everything. He was immaculate, very, very clean. I didn't get the job done that he told me to do on the starter motor.
Yeah.
So exactly a week later, the car broke down again in Kensington in Liverpool where I was fucking living. So then I phoned up the RAC in Liverpool and a Scouser came out in a van.
Yeah.
So what he done, he drove up on the pavement like Starsky and Hutch opposite me, and he just sitting there, no tie, no uniform, just an open shirt, and he was looking at me. I think he had one eye. He was looking at me, and he was just smoking. And he's just smoking like that. And then he got out after about 10 minutes, and I said, all right, mate. I phoned up. He said, all right. So I said, do you want to see my membership card? And he went, no, you're all right. What is it? I said, I think it's the starter motor. It's happened before. All right. So then he disappeared and he come back with a hammer. So he knocked on the window again and I said, what is it? He said, yeah, I'm going to twat it.
Yeah.
So he got under the car and bang, bang, bang. And he went, sign it now. And it started. And he went, sound, all right. And he went, listen, if anyone phones you, tell them whatever time it is, I've only just gone. It's only just been repaired. Then I said, no, see you later. Got in the car and fucked off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very big difference, isn't it? You know.
And the difference is because what?
The difference is...
You're just trying to give an example of...
No, what I'm trying to say is outside of Liverpool, people are much more kind of official. They take things seriously.
Yeah, I get it.
They take the job seriously. In Liverpool, people are kind of like, they've got no respect for, you know, the government, for the law, or they do everything in their own way, in their own time. I mean, give me, you know, the fella fixed the fucking car.
Yeah.
But he never said, the fella in Manchester actually said to me, sir, I think that your bushes in your starter motor need adjusting. And you'd be better taking it where somebody can put it on a lathe and grind it down. You might have some success with that. Otherwise, you may have to buy a new one. 7 days later, another fella speaks a totally different language. He just pops up in me fucking window and goes, it's fucked.
Yeah.
I said, what? He went, it's fucked. I went, oh, hang on a minute. Comes back with a fucking big hammer and he goes, I'll twat it.
Yeah.
Gets on the car, bang, bang, bang. Then fuck it. Don't tell anyone I was here. If anyone rings you, I've only just gone. Yeah. I mean, you can see a huge difference there, can't you?
Stark difference.
Now, that's a true story. And again, if any Scousers have a go at me, I'm not having a go at anyone in Liverpool. You know, I'm a Scouser through and through. It's just, to me, it's just strange and funny how different they are.
To everywhere else in the UK.
To everywhere else in the UK.
I mean, it is very different. You said that, you know, it's like a principality in terms, it's like Catalonia or somewhere like that.
It's like, you know, some parts of Spain want independence, don't they? And a lot of people, I've studied a lot of this on the YouTube and whatever. You go sometimes to Anfield and they're holding up banners, aren't they? We are Scouse, we are not English. Yeah. A lot of people do believe that. And somebody was asking me on a
Scouse
show.
Republic, they say,
Scouse Republic, when we were in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know, when Liverpool played, even this year, they won the Carabao Cup. When the national anthem came on, this is the English national anthem, the Scousers boo it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not making this up. They boo their own anthem. Why? So it's a very complicated thing. It's a lot about the Tory government had a thing about Liverpool. You know, it's trying to run the city down because the people have always been like revolutionary, a bit kind of like the government didn't like the way that they'd always go on strike. They'd always fight like hell
Rebellious.
for the rights, very rebellious. And then you had the Hillsborough situation where a lot of the Scousers think that there was a government cover-up. There's various other things. But the main thing I think it is because it's so cosmopolitan, because people came from Ireland, not just Ireland, people from Wales, from Scotland, from West Africa, from a lot of people came, and we've got Swedish churches
oldest
here.
Chinese population
Oldest
in Europe.
Chinese.
Yeah.
So it's like New York. There's people from all over the world in Liverpool. So that English identity has never really been gelled. And that's actually what you got in America. That's why you've got America today. Don't forget, if anybody's out there doesn't know, the United States, before it was the USA, was an English colony. You know, all the people that lived there were English, first generation, second generation. Then a lot of Irish started coming in, and they became more kind of antagonistic towards the British government. And that's what you've got here. Maybe not to the same extent where people would rebel and have a revolution and say, we want our own country. But I actually know people that, if you said to them, let's, you know, it's been on the news that Liverpool is going to be its own independent state, they'd be quite happy.
That's very true. So listen, to wrap things up, I hope you've enjoyed the first podcast back, which is podcast episode 26. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I thoroughly enjoyed it today. It's been great. And considering we've been off for a couple of years, we've slotted back into it really well. And I think you've been brilliant today. Hope I've been on form.
I think you've been on form, mate, don't we? Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And anybody watching this, we will be doing another one very, very soon. They're very entertaining. Watch this space. Don't go away. We've got shows coming up in Chester, Real, Ainsdale, Liverpool for Father's Day, as I mentioned, Nuneaton, Mexborough, Hull, Birmingham. We're announcing loads of shows soon. If you want to book Frankie, you can click the link below. Contact me. We'll sort it out a good deal. If you want to book tickets to a show, the tickets are available all online via frankieallen.co.uk. And yeah, we've smashed it. Also, obviously, you can book Frankie Allen through Will Cranny here. You've got all the details. Also, if you want to book me as a Peter Andre tribute, you can, which is a lot cheaper. Yeah. But what you'll have to do in the pub, you'll have to put like a TV screen up, you know, or a painter or something that looks like a beach in Barbados, and like put some water in like a pool, and I'll come out in my shorts. Mysterious girl, I have lost 2 stone. Nice one. Big thanks to everyone who's watched or listened. Vlogs out on YouTube every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Once we have a schedule for this podcast, they will be the same time every week as well. We'll be recording one podcast every week, which will be going out to you on your podcast provider or on YouTube. So listen, big thanks for watching. One final big thanks to our podcast sponsors, Skalptec. If you're losing your hair, if you need your hair done, scalp micropigmentation is the answer. And Terence Jones, multi-award winner. Anyone out there, don't be worrying about your hair, combing the fucking thing over, walking backwards to the bar so a bird can't see the monkey's ass. It happened to me once. This bird's on me case of bought her a drink. When I went to the bar to get another drink, she must have seen the back of my head. When I got back to where she was, she'd fucked off gone because she saw the monkey's ass on my head. Get your head done and birds will be blowing your phone up. Nice one. Contact Skalptec. All the details will be linked below in the description. You can contact Skalptec. Make sure that you tell them that we sent you. We sent you. From the Frankie Allen Podcast, and Terry will sort you out. Listen, next podcast out is next week. I hope you enjoyed this one. Whether you were listening or watching, please send us a comment. Tell us, where do you listen to this? Where do you watch this? Do you watch it at home on the telly with your family? Do you watch it while you're at work? Do you watch it while you're driving? Do you watch it or listen to it while you're in the gym? And we also want to know if you want just me and my dad on this podcast as a free and easy chat, or do you want any guests? Because we've got loads of mates and guests that we could definitely bring along.
But at the moment, we're enjoying it with just me
We're
and you.
enjoying it. We broke the ice. We've done our first one for a couple of years. And me and Will, father and son, we work great together. And I think this has been a good podcast.
Nice one. Big thanks. Give us a thumb up on the video. Get yourself subscribed. Do your thing. We'll catch it on the next one. Nice one. Enjoy it, Frank.
Brilliant.
Nice one in a bit, people.
Thanks.